Hi guys, welcome to another episode of AJAWI TV, where we discuss architectural and construction related topics. I'm your host. I'm AJAWI, guys. Yes, I'm your host. Guys, so today I want to talk to you about measured surveys or building surveys. When do you need it? What is it all about? What value will it add to you as a homeowner? Alright? So without any further ado, let's get into this video. Alright guys, so you just bought a house, right? You just bought a fixer-upper, right? And you want to make some changes to this fixer-upper, or maybe you want to do an addition onto an existing house that you own, right? You're going to approach an architect, right? Or an architectural technologist or a designer to actually do some amount of design for you and actually do a building application to the parish council, right? Now, at this point, you would actually need to have a building survey done, right? So what is a building survey? That's the first thing that we need to tackle. Right? What is a building survey? But before we get into that, guys, this is the point of the video that I would like for you to like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so that you can see videos just like this one, right? So you can be notified whenever I make videos just like this one. Alright? So go ahead and click the like button and subscribe. Alright, now that that's out of the way, what is a building survey, right? Or a measured survey? A lot of time people do not know what a building survey is or what a measured survey is, and as a result of this, they do not get it done. All right. So a building survey is where, or a measured survey is where you have an existing building already, right? And you're going to do some amount of design work, or even submittal to the parish council, right? At that point, you actually need to go into the building and measure up everything that's there, right? That's on ground. So every room, every window, every door, you're trying to get an existing building plan. So what the technologist or even architect will do is actually come to your property and go through and measure up everything is there and do sketches to represent that. Then he'll go away and put it into his computer, right? So I'm going to show you a drawing, and then I'm going to show you techniques that I use whenever I'm doing a building survey, right? So that's what a building survey is. A building survey or a measured survey is when you measure an existing structure to get as-built information. Alright, so you go there, measure up exactly what is there, not what you think should be there or how it should be. You actually go and capture the existing information and then prepare a set of drawings for that. Alright, so let's get that out of the way. So why do you need a building survey? The thing is, you need a building survey if you have an unapproved building, right? You did not approve the existing building, so therefore you want to get that approved now. So then you need a building survey to be done, right? Or a measured survey to basically present the information to the parish council, all right? Another reason is where you're doing additions to an existing building. You need to capture everything that is there so that you can then move forward, right? So if it is that you have a have an existing building, you did not necessarily have an approved drawing for the existing building, and you're now moving forward, you're adding on to this building, then you'd need a building survey or a measured survey for that, right? What this does is actually put you in a good position, because when you're getting the approval for the new part of the building, the parish council will then look at everything as a whole, and then you'll get an approval for everything that is there on site, right? So if you are going to add to your building and you don't have an approval for the existing building, now is a good time for you to actually get an approval, get the building survey done, so that you can approve everything all together. So that's a way that you can go about doing it. Now they will charge you for the submittal for the existing part, but it is better off to get that approval, right? So it's not too late. So who can do a building survey or a measured survey, right? Pretty much you want an architectural technologist, an architect, an engineer, let's see, who else can do a building survey, or a contractor, or somebody that understands how to take measurements properly. A lot of people I have seen do not necessarily know how to take measurements properly, and I'm going to show you in this video how I take measurements whenever I go on a site, and ensure that it is actually accurate, right? So you want somebody who has experience doing that. What I have found personally is that not a lot of technicians or technologists actually do building surveys, right? Or they don't necessarily see it as a service to offer. So not a lot of technicians actually do that, offer it by itself. But luckily, AJAWI Construction does do that, as offer that as a service. As you can see, our services down below. All right. So that's who can actually do a building survey. You can get a measured survey technician. That's what I call them. So that's somebody who is actually, they just specialize in that, maybe, right? Or a building survey technician, architectural technologist, architect, or any building professional that actually has experience in that particular area. So what are the benefits? So what are the benefits of getting the building survey done, right? I've already told you that you can actually get your existing building and the new addition approved. So that's one big benefit right there, right? So you don't have an approval for the existing building, you can actually get that section approved if it is that you measure it and put it on to the new addition that you're doing, right? So you show everything. So that's one major benefit of the building survey. Two, or the second benefit of the building survey, is that it helps you to save cost, right? It helps you to actually save on construction. How does this happen, right? For example, you are doing an addition onto a building, right? And you measured up the building. You would have taken into account where beams are, where certain walls are, and that will help you to actually place wall on top of walls, or place walls on top of beams and stuff like that, or see where it is best to make these additions structurally, right? Or maybe you're looking at a certain size without the existing information, you will actually end up in a situation where maybe a beam is at a particular location, or a column is at a particular location, and because you don't have that information, you're not necessarily able to make good design decisions, right? So if it is that you have the measurements for the existing already, then you'd be able to make very good design decisions, or the technologist or architect would be able to do so. Even the engineer would be able to do so. let's look at it in a little more detail, right? So say you're doing an upper floor to a structure that already is existing, and there are walls below, right? And there are beams. These beams that are below would have been the ideal situation where you can put the ideal instance where you can actually put walls on top of those beams, because there's already a structure in place. Now say you move those walls now over into the middle of the slab, which is never an ideal situation, right? You move walls over into the middle of the slab, and then you're now putting weight or load onto the middle of the slab, right? And the weakest part of the slab, that is. Then that would be something that you don't want, right? So it's always good to have a measured survey done, right? So you know exactly what is there, and it will help you to save money on construction. Now, here's another aspect of it where you will save money. Say you're doing construction, right? And you are actually making design decisions. The design has been done, drawings are approved, and you're now in the construction phase, right? And somebody comes to you and say, hey, you designed something, you designed a room, but there's a column in the middle of the room based on what is actually on site. That's because you never had the measured survey or the building survey done. Now, when that situation occurs, you would then have to have the architect or the engineer or the architectural technologist to redesign that space, to move probably that room to a different location to accommodate that, or maybe you had a service. Say you have a generator going into a location, right? It's supposed to go into a room. The room is already existing, but the length of the generator is bigger than the room. So say the generator is 10 feet, right? And because of the location where you're going to put that generator is smaller than the space, is smaller than the generator itself, then that would not work. And even so, because you don't know what's on site, maybe you just wanted a flat surface to have that generator there, and it just need a shed or something. But because you don't have that existing information, you're not able to make good decisions, which would in turn end up with you actually spending more money to redesign a location just to accommodate that oversight. Alright? So it's very important to actually have a building survey done. Right? Another benefit is when the parish council actually come to you and send you a letter to say, hey, you have actually built a structure that is not approved, right? You have not gotten an approval for the existing building, and the council write you and say, we're going to either knock it down or you can get it approved, right? In such a situation, then you need the building survey, and that's how it would benefit you, because you can now approve an existing unapproved building, right? So that's one of the major benefits. If there's no other benefit, that's the most important benefit. You can actually approve your unapproved building if you go and measure up everything, adjust it so that it is now fit to be actually approved by the council. Alright? So those are some benefits. That's what a building or measured survey is. Now I'm going to show you some techniques that I use. Alright, some techniques that I use when I'm actually conducting a measured survey. Alright? Alright guys, so I got this drawing, just search on the internet. I'm not going to show you any drawing that I actually did for anybody. So this is just a drawing that I randomly searched for on the internet, right? Now, say I'm at this position right here, and I am, let me reduce the size of this brush just a little, right? So I'm at this position here, measuring this wall, right? One technique that I use is called the running measurement. This is very important whenever I'm doing a measured survey, right? So normally, if you have a tape measure, you'd actually come here, right, at this position. Right, let me zoom in a little. Let me just zoom into here, right? So I have my tape measure, and I'm standing at this position right here, right? And I'm going to measure. Normally, what you do, or what a technician would do, is measure from here to here, right? Record that, then measure this window opening, record that, then measure from here to here, right? Record that information there, and then move to this position now, measure from here to here, and just continue down. Now, the problem with that method is that you can possibly make mistakes. One, and two, the mistakes are, we just say, they increase. The increments of the mistakes are, increasing. So say right here at this position, let me change color. So at this position, the measurement was actually 4 feet, right? But because you have a tape measure and there's a margin of error when you're using the tape measure, you said, okay, it's 3 feet 3/4 inches, right? 3 feet 3/4 inches. Now I am 1/4 of an inch out, right? At this position. At this position now, this position here, right? I measure, the actual measurement is 5 feet, right? Now I measure it to be 4 feet ½ inch, right? Based on my error, I am now ½ inch off, right? Then I come here and I'm measuring it at, it is supposed to be 10 feet 9 inches, right? That's the measurement that it is supposed to be. Then I measure it and I say, okay, it is 10 feet 8 inches, right? I am 1 inch off. Now you can see here where ½ inch plus the 1/4 inch, that is 1.5 inches, plus ½ inch plus the 1/4 inch, that would be 3/4 inches, right? Plus this 1 inch right here, that would be 1 3/4 inches. That is, now if you repeat that error over a long distance, then that becomes a problem because it is adding up, right? So what I would normally do is this. I would have a technician at this corner holding my tape measure, because I normally have probably a 300 or 500 foot tape measure. So the technician is here at this position holding the tape, right? And I stretch the tape for the entire length of the building, right? Now I then walk along the tape and measure. So when I measure from here to here, I record that. From here to here, I record that. From up here to down here, I record that information. Then from here to down here, I record that information. And then I have a final measurement here. So I record this information down here. So say this is 30 feet, right? 30 feet. Because it is a running measurement, there is no change in there would be no change in there would be no error in the overall length, because I now know exactly what this length is, this overall length is, but I'm not adjusting my hand based on the tape measure itself. I'm actually just going along and taking off the measurements as I go along, right? So it becomes a situation where there's less possible errors to be made, because at the end of the day I only have 30 feet to add up to, right? So that's a technique that I employ whenever I am doing a measured survey. So from here I would run my tape measure the entire length, right? I know exactly what this is down here, so this is 40 foot, right? And then as I come down now, I measure. So I am actually moving along this tape measure here and just putting it against the wall and marking out what those measurements are and recording them as I go down. So I'd stand at this position at the tape, record this, then stand at this position, stand at this position, stand at this position, and then record everything, which would then give me an overall measurement, and the measurement would be more accurate than if I was to measure this and then measure this down here again separate, which would then, you know, increase the amount of error that I have when doing the measured survey. Alright, so that's a very important tip that you can employ whenever you are doing your measured survey. Try to do running measurements, and that will require you to have a 200 to 300 foot tape measure. Alright, that would require you to have that. So yeah, that's a technique that I use whenever I am doing measured surveys, and I do measured surveys for multiple people. So if a homeowner is buying a building and they want to know, okay, exactly what is there, and then add on to that, then I would go in and do that measured survey. Or even if an architect or an engineer requires that, then I go ahead and conduct the measured survey in order to give them that information. And there's two aspects to it actually. There is the actual physical measuring of the building, and then there's the drawing of that measurement, right? So there's the measured survey itself, and then the measured survey CAD section of it, which is where we take that information and put it into the computer, or the computer aided drafting software, which would then allow us to have that information readily available. Alright, so that's what a measured survey is. That's benefits that you would get from it, and that's a technique that I use to get accurate measurements whenever I'm conducting a building / measured survey. Alright, make sure you hit the like button, make sure you subscribe, make sure you hit the notification bell so that you can be notified whenever I make videos just like this one. Alright guys, I appreciate your support. You hitting the like bell, you hitting the like button, hitting the notification bell, and sharing the video is actually helping the channel to go further and further, right, and grow larger and larger. So far we have reached over 4,000 subscribers, and I just want to say thank you to all my subscribers. Alright, thank you to all my subscribers. I appreciate you, and just stay tuned for more content. And yeah, if it is that you want specific videos, please comment below so that I know how I can serve you better. Alright, go check out my website. It's AJAWIConstruction.com. Go check out my construction calculator, which is on the website, that helps you to get an idea of what your building construction cost will be, and just have fun with it. Alright, stay safe, and I'll see you next time.